Hello, my darlings. Hello, hello, hello. Here we are again, a second time round. Unfortunately, the first time round, things got a bit miffed because YouTube and Restream have restructured, and I had to redo the whole Restream thing. So I apologize for some technical difficulties. But hello, my darlings. How are you? Are you okay? How you been? What you been up to? There's a whole five of you right up in here, so it looks like you're all ready to rock and roll for another evening's Sunday evenings live with Banksy style. Okay, guys and girls, today we have a special guest. He's been waiting a little while in the wings at the moment. And you know him, you love him. Who loves you and who do you love? Yeah, that's right. It's the War Kettle. I apologize for the delay, guys and girls, but things get occasionally miffed. And also today I did expect for Speaker's Corner not to be running, but it appears that it's still going. People are still there in their certainly far more than 6. So a lot of lawbreakers today at Speaker's Corner, ladies and gentlemen. So you know him, I know him, you all love him. Let us bring in our good friend, the War Kettle himself. Hello, Mr. War Kettle.
Good evening, mate. How's it going?
I'm good. How is things with you? Our man in Cyprus.
Everything's going very well. I also want to say, nice touch on because I've seen it on Twitter, the original stream, and nice touch with the Greek music playing before you actually started.
I know. But the thing is, it kicked off on Twitter, it kicked off on DLive and on Twitch, but YouTube has changed their setup, and my YouTube option had been removed. I didn't realize it until I started the stream. Suddenly I'm looking and there's no YouTube, and I had to go and reset it. I had to reset the whole bloody thing for the stream. So unfortunately, yeah, YouTube keeps changing things around, and I think YouTube secretly doesn't want restreaming. You know what I mean? They want the audience to be exclusively for them, and so they screw with Restream, or I don't know. They're constantly changing shit. Yeah. So poor Restream had to sort of do all their stuff, and unfortunately, at the moment I just noticed I was slightly out of touch, but it's okay. We march on, as they say, and yeah, I brought in the Dancing Zorba just for you, because it is also my favorite track in all the Greek parties. All the Greek parties.
You always hear.
There is at least one occasion where you will have this song at one point or another. It's just impossible to not have this song play at least once at any Greek party, wedding, or any other Greek occasion that I've ever been to.
I can confirm that. And to be honest, a lot of the time you hear it multiple times at night on the venue.
Yes, it is a particular dance to it as well. You know what I mean? Everybody gathers in a circle. There's a single guy who kind of goes for it or does all the jumping. It's kind of good. It's kind of cool. I like that. But here, actually, speaking of Greek things, let's arrange something with Annie sometime. I would love to have her on the show as well. She sounds like a huge amount of fun. So we have to, this is like a memo to you at a later date.
Me try and pin her down for more than 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, I'm sure I can manage that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, we should get Annie. We should do a stream with Annie as well. I take it. I mean, I know she's a Twitcher. She's a big Twitcher, but she's not. Is she a YouTuber? Does she have a YouTube channel?
No, she's all about the TikTok, mate, isn't she?
Sorry, I said Twitcher. I meant TikTok. Yes, she's all about the TikTok. So,
yeah, she's almost at 30,000.
Wow, she has 30,000 followers on TikTok. I should have checked that earlier. I didn't even look. That is
27.7 thousand to be accurate.
Serious thing. She's a serious TikToker. She's not messing around.
Yeah. And I'm there with my mere 1,321.
Dude, I've got 26. I think it's 20. I've just barely reached double digits. I am not. 30. following. No, I take it back. I thought I was 26. Seven followers on TikTok.
I'm one of them. Don't worry, Banksy.
Yes.
I'm one of them.
Yes,
I've always got you
solid,
back, brother.
solid. I got you, man.
I
But
got
yeah,
you.
whole of 7 followers on TikTok. Yeah, I'm not much for TikToking. To be honest with you, I just these things. I come late to these things anyway. I came way late to the TikTok part. My mate told me about TikTok like last year, and I was like, look, I don't get into these are kids stuff. I'm not there to put on a show for 12-year-olds. And then next thing I know, bam, every idiot's on TikTok. I mean, there's you know that song, old horse. Oh man, what is that? I'm gonna ride this old horse. Something about a horse. There was a guy who sang a song about a horse. Hold on. It's Lil Nas X, Old Town Road. You know
Oh
that
yeah,
song?
yeah, I know that one.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
yeah.
my horse to the Old Town Road. Anyway, he attributes TikTok to the success of that song. He says I should be paying TikTok, some marketing fees because TikTok he allowed people to use a little clip of it in order to make TikTok videos. That song just blew up because of TikTok. So TikTok is got he's thankful to TikTok for the success of that song. So TikTok has some pull, have some sway, certainly. I think a lot of people are now with the China business are getting a little bit wary about using TikTok. There's a lot of rumors going around saying TikTok is just basically malware on your phone.
It is.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about all these nonsense. We're here to talk about you, Mr. Warkettle. What have you been up to? Give us some lowdown on what you've been up to.
I've been on TikTok non-stop, mate. Have you seen my videos?
Yes, I have seen a lot of you. You're more of a TikTok vlogger, aren't you? It's there's a lot of like my daily life, like your life. You're out at the beach. Oh shit. You're down at the beach, you're at parties, you're at barbecues. I kind of basically vicariously live through you via TikTok.
Yeah, pretty much.
But,
Or me
pool
grilling Ali on
parties.
something. Yeah, pool parties. That does happen.
Yeah, nice pool parties, actually. I saw that. Is that the pool of your place where you live, basically?
It is, yes.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. You know what I have? I have an communal area where 2 large dogs mostly take huge dumps on, in which no one else uses because it's just full of dog shit.
Sounds
You have a
beautiful.
pool. I have that.
That's a beautiful ocean as well that I
Yeah.
can swim in at any time.
Yeah. Not jealous at all. Fuck you.
Beautiful parks and beautiful women and amazing
Yeah.
food.
I know. It's like, what am I doing with my fucking life? Sometimes you start to reevaluate your life over these such moments. So apart from beautiful beaches and swimming pools and barbecues and women, actually that's pretty much it, really, isn't it? What more do you need?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a pretty good life to me.
That's pretty much, yeah. That's as good as it gets.
That's a wrap, people. We're done here.
Okay, end of a show. Good to see you and good to talk to you again. Thanks for coming, everyone. So you've been doing a series
Work
recently.
obviously as well. I have, yeah. I've just started a new series. It's going to be on my second channel, and but before we get into that, the most important thing I need to tell you: November 2nd, and you're going to have to be a guest, one of the judges.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm doing a Draw Muhammad competition.
Oh, awesome! On your main channel or the second channel?
Yeah, main channel again. I've done it before, like 2 years ago, but we're bringing it back for a second year, for a second go. So yeah, November 2nd, people have to get their designs in for.
Okay.
Draw Muhammad.
Muhammad Ali. Yes. So we're drawing. So everybody's drawing Muhammad. I mean, it wasn't November.
Yeah,
I thought the Draw Muhammad Day was originally like the 21st of May or something. That was the original. Like
yeah.
back way back
That's
then.
the original one.
And
Yeah,
then
but like I've adopted it as my day is the 2nd of November because
I
that's when I did the
see.
last one anyway. And the first time I did it was because Geert Wilders cancelled it, so that was why I did the first one. And this time I'm
Aha.
doing it because the French president came out saying like he will not condemn Charlie Hebdo for the comic and republishing it. So I was like,
Mm.
seems like a perfect time to do it again.
Well,
So yeah,
yeah, if you've been following any of the Speaker's Corner antics, you would know Hatoun Tash, who has actually been taking those pictures of the Charlie Hebdo pictures. She's basically printed them off, laminated them, and now she's just displaying them at Speaker's Corner in front of all the Muslims.
love it, love
Gutsy
it.
lady, that lady. And she was escorted out of Speaker's Corner last week because by the police for her own safety, because the hordes of Muslims just mobbed her. And again, I mean, she's already had one of her Quran stolen out of her hand because, I mean, this is a long story, but there's a mullah or a scholar, a Muslim scholar, who's pointed out that there are holes in the narrative of the Quran. Like the Muslims' narrative is that the Quran has never been changed, it's only been one Quran, and that it has been preserved since Muhammad revealed it. Well,
Yeah,
scholars have known for centuries that the Quran isn't the same. There are no one Quran. There are different Arabic Qurans, not English or other translations. Different Arabic Qurans. There's like the Hafs, the Wus, the Duri. There's a few Arabic ones, which
yeah,
basically what it is, because the Quran was hand copied over the years. There's been scribal errors, and also not only scribal errors, which they've also found actual linguistic differences, because different parts of the Arab world speak slightly different accents, so slightly
yeah,
different things. So there is actual, but it's not just even different. Like it's not like difference between, I don't know, like they use the example of potato and potato. It's actually difference between you and they, which are completely different words. I mean, I can say you are a murderer, or I can say they are murderers. They are two very different things. One of them you would be put in jail for, and the other one you're accusing a bunch of people as committing a crime. So these are two very different scenarios. So these people are arguing. The Muslims obviously are trying to excuse it, saying no, this is not different in language. This is just different in accents and pronunciations, but it's exactly the same. It's like no, actually no. Some words are genuinely different, which could effectively mean an entirely different thing. If you're talking about they and them or they and you, these are different words. These are different things. So anyway, since then, Hatun has drilled some holes in a Quran, and she's taking it into Speaker's Corner with this drilled out Quran, saying there are holes in the narrative. Of course, Muslims lose their shit when they see a Quran defamed in any shape or form. And so yeah, she's been having this wonderful battle between Muslims and Hatun's Charlie Hebdo pictures have been all over Speaker's Corner, and she was there today, just sticking them out in front of Muslims' faces. In a way, I fear for her safety, don't get me wrong, I genuinely do, and I've told her, I said, look, Muslims are not evolved to recognize the difference between free speech and their feelings being hurt. They are not there yet. They don't have the societal evolution, even in Britain, even in other parts of the world, to recognize the difference between them caring about their religion and you not giving a shit about their religion. And you shouldn't. Why should I give a crap? The Quran isn't holy to me. It's holy to a Muslim. Muslims, if you don't like the Quran defamed, I recommend never defame a Quran. But the rest of us doesn't mean shit. Because that's the whole point. The Quran isn't special to me. It's no more special than Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I couldn't give a crap what you do with your Harry Potter book. So that's the problem. But anyway, I told her, be careful. And unfortunately, I was actually there the second time No, both times. Both times she was attacked. I was right next to her. And one time the guy was in front of me, so I managed to capture the guy's face. The second time, which was a couple of weeks back, the guy came from behind me. So I couldn't, my camera wasn't pointing at him. I couldn't get his face. But the other camera in front of me caught it. So we know who he is. We've reported him to the police. But that bastard managed to steal her book and run away with it. He totally got away with it. Didn't give it back.
That's just theft, is it?
Yeah. And the police did nothing. Police have, I mean, admittedly, up until now, we've got his image. We've got, whatever information we can give to the police.
But be honest, though, the theft of a book is hardly top priority of Met Police. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, at the moment, the Met Police have literally said if you steal anything under £100, they don't even come out.
Yeah.
They won't even come out to investigate because it's just not priority for them. So you can literally go into a shop and steal a 50 quid item. And they won't even fucking come out to investigate you. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, it's just nonsense. The police in London at the moment. I mean, London at the moment, the police in London are more worried about arresting people who are protesting against COVID lockdowns than they are about thieves in shops.
Well, I mean, they're arrested anyone at protest. They arrested people at BLM and they arrested people at the fucking Extreme Rebellion,
Well, not as many as the BLM though. The BLM, when they came to Hyde Park without permission, no police, none of them were arrested. Whilst when Piers Corbyn, when he came to Speaker's Corner to protest lockdown, he was arrested, and a bunch of others were arrested as well. So it's not exactly dished out evenly. We've come to recognize this a lot now. There's footage of it all over the shop where when BLM goes to Hyde Park or goes to protest in London, they don't get as aggressively tackled as when these other guys. I mean, Piers Corbyn is now under a £10,000 charge for going to because they said he organized the anti-COVID lockdown protests whilst he just showed up. I don't know who organized it, but I would imagine there was no singular person anyway. But either way, he got £10,000 fine. No BLM protester has ever been fined that much. So I don't know. I mean, at the moment, I think the economy of this country is really seriously hurting, and these government lockdowns or rule of six bullshit, none of them are working. I don't think any of them are going to really work anyway. But then again, Cyprus had a really, really draconian lockdown, and they seem to be clean. So, there's something to be said, There's something to be said
for great, yeah.
This authoritarian. Yeah. Yeah, but also Cyprus,
but we followed the rules. We followed the rules, and also we still are following the rules. Like I can go out and don't get me wrong, there'll be people not wearing a mask, but at least 90% of people you'll see during the day when you're out will be in shops and stuff wearing masks and whatnot. Yeah. And the staff wearing the masks properly. And then you look at Twitter in Britain and people saying all the time no one's wearing masks and stuff like that. We had the mask rule in pretty much since day one.
Yeah, I have to say, I go to, with this week, since the rule of six has been introduced, I've seen more people in supermarkets with masks, but previous weeks in supermarkets, I swear, I went to Asda once, and admittedly, depends on I don't want to sound classist, but it is a class thing. I go to Marks and Spencer's or Waitrose or Sainsbury's, and everybody's wearing masks, and people are, kind of decent, low abiding, because it's very upper middle class or middle class supermarkets. You know what I mean? Whilst you go to Asda, I would say, I swear, one time I thought the rule of them wearing a mask in supermarkets was over. I wasn't sure anymore. I had to question, do we still have to wear masks in supermarkets? Because no one's wearing masks in the supermarket. I had to double check because nobody was wearing it. No one gave a shit. And I'm gonna just say it. Asda is not exactly middle class shopping. Asda is the lower working class, and immigrants don't seem to give a shit. I'm sorry. It's just the pattern I've noticed. You go to Waitrose, go to the sort of expensive supermarkets, and you see a very different behavior, different way people behave and react. go to Lidl and Aldi and I guess in this case Asda, and people don't give a shit. Admittedly, no, Lidl, the one I've been going to is pretty good, but then the Lidl I'm going to is a very, again, this is gonna fucking sound terrible, but it is a very white middle class area.
I'm just waiting for Ralph to start a live stream and then start going on about how, you know, you're an atheist demon, snobby upper class prick.
I know,
down, snobby all the working
terrible.
class. You're getting exposed here, Banks.
I know, but look, I'm sorry. It sounds bad, and I know it looks terrible, but it's true. You go to like expensive places, and people are well behaved, well mannered. They seem to follow the rules, and you go to chavvy fucking immigrant filled places, and they don't give a shit. They just don't give a shit. They're walking around fucking hugging and kissing each other. I expect them all to be spitting at each other next. I don't know, but it just looks, it's just my personal observation. I've been to one set of supermarkets and I've been to another set of supermarkets, and I can see the behaviors vastly. I mean, it's not a mind, you know, I'm not picking a minutia here. It's a vast gap between behaviors. There's this one group who don't seem to give a shit, and another group that seem to do. And as I say, it sounds classist as fuck, but it is, you know, white middle class kind of people that seem to be much more sort of law abiding, and the others are not. It's my observation. Call me a racist prick. I don't care, but that's what I've noticed.
So not only have you exposed yourself as a racist, class phobic, but you know, just adding to the list of Ralph's stuff. I mean, what was the main one? I'm
an evil atheist. Heathenist.
Evil, yeah. And what was it? Iranian propagandist or something?
The man who ran from Iran. Like, that is so unoriginal, Ralph. For fuck's sake. It's so fucking like 2002. No, not even that. 1990. I remember people saying "man from Iran who ran for," like, when I came to this country. That was a thing, let alone now. But either way, yeah, it's I mean, the thing is, I poked Ralph in a tender spot, and they say, you know, I finally managed to hit a real hard nerve, because he did do a video about me a week ago, or early this week, I forgot exactly when, where I was just a singular feature of many other people. So he generally went after atheists and people who attack Islam. So he went after me, he went after atheist Steve, he went after Simon. Big up Simon. There's loads of great people actually in the chat right now. Hassan Yalmaz.
And I didn't get a mention. I felt unloved by my brown sugar. I thought we were soulmates.
But the thing is, because he doesn't consider you as an evil atheist, you're still on his good side. Whilst because I already tackled him or attacked him on a couple of other issues prior to, because, you know, it's like he's batting for Islam right now. He's like fully in support of Islam, and I'm like, this fucker.
Well, I wonder why though, Banksy. We know why. It's because they love the white Sharia. That's what they want. Him and all his fun buddies over at PA brown people bad, but that Sharia, I mean white Sharia, we like some of that.
Yeah, as long as it's white Sharia, it's okay. If it's brown Sharia, they don't like the brown Sharia.
Yeah.
They just like the white version of the Sharia. But that's the thing. That's exactly what he was talking about. He's constantly going, oh, this whiskey drinking pornographer. I'm like, fucking hell, you sound like the Puritans. You sound like one of those fucking pilgrim Puritans who points the finger and goes, heathen, heathen. We should burn the heathen at the stake. He's such a fucking old. The problem is, his era has passed. These people lost the culture war many, many years ago. And now, by some unfathomable reason, they think they can gain it because Britain has, is having some problems, immigration problems, some demographics problems. So they want to use that to take Britain back to a fucking puritanic era. He wants to fucking bring Oliver Cromwell back. Although I like Oliver Cromwell for the revolution and making Britain, or taking the power from the monarchy and the sort of, from the,
Sorry,
what do you call
vomiting here over your republicanism ideals.
Well, he did make Britain a constitutional, or what's it called? Constitutional monarchy. We're a constitutional monarchy, aren't we? So yeah, he did bring that down.
He laid some foundation work, but really Charles II and whatnot did most of the work.
Yeah, but what I mean is, he was a Puritan, though. He wanted to be like Christian Puritanism. So he was insane in that sense. He wasn't like fully like together, but then again, maybe not all people are everything at once. They initiate some things, and like you said, someone else then takes that and advances it and brings us to where we are today. So it's not, not everyone has all the gifts in one package. Somebody does one thing, then another person carries it forward with another action, and so on and so forth. But either way, Britain became a constitutional monarchy, and I think it's better for it. But these guys, these Puritans like Ralph, he wants to. But the thing is, he's at the same time. This is his fucked up hypocrisy. At the same time as he wants Christian Puritanism, he's attacking Hatun for attacking Islam. So he's still attacking a fellow Christian sister, and he doesn't seem to have any, unity or any sort of solidarity.
I'm just gonna sit over here in the back and just watch the fucking religious people fight amongst themselves. It's the oldest timer's tale.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, us atheist grown-ups in the room can actually get on with actually like getting on with life and governing and science and exploring the known universe.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, big up Miss Banksy, love you. Sorry, I just want to throw that. But this is what I said to him. No, the reason he got pissed was because I pointed him out as a grifter. Because recently some videos have arisen of a gentleman talking about how he is given Ralph. Now, the thing is, you see, this is the game he wants to play. It could be that the guy never gave him £13,000 in one lump sum. Maybe he gave it to him over a period of time, over a period of months. So he may have accumulated £13,000 over a number of payments. But he is now going, if you can produce a receipt for £13,000, blah 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 blah. So he's now playing semantics. He's playing games, dude. Did the guy over either one payment or 100 payments give you 13 grand or not? But he's never gonna fucking. He wants to play the game of oh no, I never received.
Did he get 13 grand from George Soros? Because I'm still waiting for my George Soros payment.
I want my fucking George Soros payment, but I voted Brexit, so I don't think I'm gonna get one. How about the Koch brothers? You cunts, give me some shit.
Well, one of the Koch brothers is dead now, so it's only the Koch brother.
Seriously, one of them died.
Yeah,
I mean, they were all.
One of them died. Yeah, like old.
I didn't realize one of them died. Shit. So there goes one fucking uber billionaire. The problem is, sometimes you think to yourself, better the devil you know. I mean, God knows who the fuck's gonna take over from his place. It could be fucking Monster. Some uber fucking greedy capitalist demon who just fucking, literally takes food out of babies' mouths and doesn't give two shits about it. I mean, God knows. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a massive... You see, this is the thing. I'm not a fan of these Koch brother lot either. As much as I'm not a fan of Soros, I'm not a fan of those guys either. They're all fucking manipulative bastards who are trying to manipulate the situation to their own end. That's what they all are trying to do. We all know that. We all know that we're only going to get the crumbs off the master's table, whichever side comes on top. It doesn't mean shit for the rest of us. You think Soros is looking out for our interests? He doesn't give a fuck. He's ultimately looking out for some angle for himself or his own inner circle. He's not giving it. He's not doing it as he's not that fucking benevolent. Okay, I don't believe anybody is. I don't even fucking think the Dalai Lama is that fucking benevolent. Let alone these guys. So I don't believe any of these assholes anyway. So it doesn't really matter which side wins. Whichever side wins, we all lose. That's all I see. Doesn't matter which side
No, we
wins.
could lose a lot worse, to be honest with you. Like, because if the Chinese fucking win, then we're under the fucking authoritarian rule of them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna back up Big Daddy America all day long.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, when it comes to that situation, yeah. But what I'm saying is, when I'm talking between like Soros and Koch, and you know what I mean, these kind of groups. Of course, if China fucking steps in, we're all fucked. We're all fucked. You see, you know what they're
China
doing to those
has, you know.
Muslims? Yeah, guess what's gonna happen to us? We'll all be in re-education camps.
And China has pretty much already stepped into the game. They're one of the oldest players, and they're better than Russia are at it. Like, you know, all the every single university you go to, pretty much in America and Britain, if they have a Chinese cultural center or something like that, then they are linked and associated with the Chinese Communist Party.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this is the problem. I mean, admittedly, I have to give it to the Chinese. They are playing it a lot smarter than Russia did. Russia was far too in your face aggressive, and they wore their communism on their sleeve real hard, whilst China, although internally are hardcore and they take no shit and they are incredibly brutal, but externally they play the game a lot better, a lot smoother. And I mean, I don't know. It could be that, to do with the times, the technology. I mean, they're talking about all these Russian bots that called the 2016 election. How is it no one's pointing to China what, Chinese don't know how to make fucking bots? The Chinese don't know how to manipulate and influence people on Facebook and Twitter and
Chinese
social
involvement
media?
in the last elections wasn't that so much. However, then in this election, it does look very strong for Chinese involvement. And the analysts have even said like Russia's hoping for Trump to win, and the Chinese are hoping for Biden to win.
Well, yeah, I would imagine. Well, I think that this is what I don't get. Like, okay, I can see why the Chinese would want Biden, because they're gonna have much more influence in a socialistic sort of sense, or the socialists would have much bigger influence in America under a Democrat, because the Democrats are cucking to those Antifa types. But why would Russia benefit if Trump wins? How does that go? I don't see that I've been able to find that link of why would Russia prosper from an American a Trump presidency. Have they prospered in the last 4 years? Where is the connection here? I don't know where that is. What the payoff effectively? I expected for Russia to have a payoff out of this.
In the last 4 years, Putin has basically been able to get on with whatever he wants without any sort of repercussions. With previous presidents, regardless of what party, Putin was always in line to a degree of that American retaliation would happen. But as we've seen in the last 4 years, Donald Trump is basically, the sanctions, they have to stay in place because that's the Senate and the House that control that sort of stuff. So he can't really do much except for let Putin carry on and have influence within Turkey and northern Syria. And as we've seen, Russia have been massively involved in Syria over the last 4 years.
But
I mean, fucking hell. Right now, Russia are playing dodgems. I'm not kidding you, right? There's American military vehicles on the ground in Syria, and then the Russians turn up, and the Russians are ramming into the American vehicles like they're playing fucking dodgems, mate. We've got a Russian fighter jets up in the skies coming within like meters within American fighter jets. Under any other president, this would not. Yeah, this has been on Twitter for months and months and months.
you gotta send that stuff to me. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I will, mate. No worries. And like under other presidents, this wouldn't have been allowed. This wouldn't have happened really. But Trump's sort of letting it all happen. And Putin loves it because he can have pushing more control within Syria, with Turkey, controlling the Black Sea. And, of course, Putin wants to keep his Syrian naval base.
Yeah, but I mean, is that what he has right now?
Yeah, he has there's a navy base in Syria that he's got. It's where all his ships go.
Oh, okay. Because I thought he doesn't. He doesn't really need a naval force as far as Syria is concerned because Russia has land access to Russia. So that's
Yeah,
why I
but
never really thought he has much. He doesn't. They don't require any sort of sea front sort of. You know what I mean? Any sort of sea access because who cares about sea access? They've got he's got direct land access as far as Syria is concerned. At least that's what I thought. But I guess they want to control the general area for all different reasons. Interesting. I didn't know about the plane thing, dude. What is your Twitter? Is it the War Kettle or
no, it's the soy kettle now.
the Soy Kettle? Is that why? Because they took you off, didn't they?
Yeah,
That's why I'm
yes.
not following you. This is why I was like, how is it I don't have you on Twitter? I swear I had you on my Twitter, and I didn't. That's why because you had to change it because the Twitters knocked you out, right?
Yep, you got it.
They knocked you off Twitter. Well, at least you have the honor of being kicked off Twitter. I only have the only honor I've got on Twitter is being banned by Steve Shives.
Oh
You know,
my God, everyone gets banned by
I
him.
know, but I
If you
wasn't.
haven't been banned by him, then you haven't really been on Twitter
I know,
properly.
I know. In those early days, I wasn't. I was totally unbanned, and then I became banned, and I was like, "Yeah, I've arrived. I finally arrived on Twitter because I was finally banned." But okay. The Soy Kettle it is. I also follow our sandwich boy on Twitter as well, the Kangaroo Man. Um, you know, Devin Tracy. He is under. He wasn't jogging.
Yes, I'm aware. Yes, I have seen.
Don't get me wrong. I made a video and I did in the video say from what I understand privately that in person he is a phenomenal douchebag, but you can't deny his talent and his video making capabilities. He is a very artistic and talented videographer. So I do like his video editing techniques, and I have to admit he's inspired me to kind of follow in that style of video editing. So that's my little nod of the cap to Mr. Tracy there. But anyway, less about that. I see. Yeah. See, I'm now following. I started to sort of see some of your tweets. Yeah, guys. Anyone out there? I don't know. Do you publicize your Soy Kettle much, or do you just don't bother? There you go. You got instantly 110 followers because I started following you.
Oh yeah.
You broke the 110.
110. Nice. Yeah, it's like in my YouTube description, but always, you know how it goes. Within a few months, it will be gone. I'll have a new one on.
Are you serious? Do you think they're gonna come after you again? But the thing is,
Yes,
you're not
I'll
like.
upset someone.
I suppose, yeah. That's the thing. I don't tweet enough, or I thought I tweeted. I mean, I've tweeted a picture where I've carved out "fuck Mo" in the Quran, in the page of the Quran, and I still didn't get much traction out of that. I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to just take a giant shit in the middle of a Quran or something? What am I supposed to do here, people? Because I have tweeted out a page of the Quran desecrated, and I still get no joy. Not even a single ban. But I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I did that because it was desecrate Quran Day or some bullshit apostate atheist started. Prophet started, and so I just said, there you go, there's one, and it took a bit of time. I had to actually sit there and carve the F and the C and the U, and it was difficult. It wasn't easy to carve that out in a page of the
You
Quran.
did all that work and you got no
And I
work.
got no joy. Got no joy for not even like a harsh letter from Twitter saying this was not good. I got like 4 retweets on that one. I guess the thing is that not a lot of people want to retweet such a thing or like it, because it's a bit sort of thing. Even apostate prophet only rips a page out of the Quran and chews it, or crumbles it up and chucks it. They don't actually carve serious insults into the page. So
Holy shit.
So yeah. I think maybe I gone too. It was too much. Maybe it was. I just, there was the line. I saw the line. Then I decided to get in a car and drive 40 miles down from where the line was in order to make sure I've well crossed the line.
That's the way you got to do it, though, mate.
I
you know
thought,
what I mean?
go big or go home. That was my thing.
Exactly. Well, I stand with you, Banksy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
If I'd seen the tweet, I would have retweeted the ass out of it.
I know, but unfortunately, I wasn't following the soy kettle. I was trying to look for the war kettle. I didn't realize I should be following the soy kettle. So, do you want to tell us about your new series, or was there something else you wanted to say? You said you had something else just before.
Oh, yeah. So we're doing the Draw Mohammed competition on 2nd of November. So everyone send me your drawings of Mohammed, and Banksy will be a guest judge. We'll probably get a couple more on as well.
Yes.
And that's in honor of the Charlie Hebdo.
That's actually on a Friday. Yeah, that's actually awesome. Just 2 weeks on a Friday.
Is it?
Yeah, 2 weeks on a Friday.
Oh, nice.
It's just round the corner, really. Oh, no.
It's not.
What am I sorry? October. I do apologize. No, it's a month.
It's a Monday.
It's a month. Yeah, it's a Monday. Yes, it's a Monday. That's awesome. That's okay. Retract everything I said.
So yeah, my actual new series, which will be on my second YouTube channel, is all about me growing up in the hospitality industry.
Yes, pub life.
Pub life.
Pub life. What have you called it? It's not called pub life, is it? Was it called pub life?
Yeah, pub life.
Oh, it was called pub life. I was right. Yeah, I was.
Pub life.
All right. So, yeah, you said you were born in a pub. Were you actually born in a pub then? Your mum didn't make it to the hospital by the time you...
No, they made it to the hospital, but my parents owned this hotel when I was growing up, basically.
Okay, I'm with you. So you weren't actually physically born in a pub, but you were raised in a pub, if you will.
Yeah. I was conceived in that pub, if that helps.
Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good to be conceived in a pub too.
I mean, then again, how many British people out there are actually conceived in a pub on a Friday night? So,
exactly.
Probably a good few each year.
Probably. I would say probably more Irish than British. But that's definitely. So how was? Did you want to give us any tidbits without totally spoiling the videos?
There's so many stories that it's hard to think on the spot, a story to tell you, but give me a second. I'll think of a good one. Okay, so here's one for you, right? Since I'm smoking a cigarette, so bear this in mind, all you smokers out there. So when I was in school, there was a science thing, and you could do anything for science. It had to be about health or the planet, environment, right? So I went home, and one of the jobs that I did for my dad was we used to clean these smoke extractor fans that were in the pub, because this was back in the day when you could smoke in pubs. So they had these big ass extractor fans on the ceiling, and we would take them down once every 2 weeks and clean them out, right? And what you do, you take out the unit and you'd put it in hot soapy water in a bucket. Well, I say a bucket, it was more like a fucking giant plastic crate. And the moment you put this thing in there, it would start turning black. And I took a jar of this stuff to school for my science project. And I was explaining to people that where this came from and what this shit does to your lungs. He says, while smoking a cigarette and filling his lungs and arteries up with that fucking disgusting shit.
Oh
yeah. So that's what smoking does to you, mate. Turns you
of course, yeah. You can see the filters. Shit. I suppose, the filter kind of gives you a lung simulation.
Yeah,
it is. It's horrible. I was lucky that I sort of grew up with a group of friends, and out of us, there were 6 of us that hung out with each other all the time, and we rode motorbikes together. And out of the 6 of us, only one of us actually smoked. So I grew up with a essentially non-smoking friends. So I had non-smoking peer group. So I was never drawn to smoking. I actually started smoking, not so much just tobacco, but other things later on in life. In my sort of 20s, I had a bunch of friends who were basically hip hop artists and hip hop producers and stuff, and the the wacky backy and hip hop kind of go together.
The wacky backy. Boomer Banksy in the house.
You know what I
everybody.
mean, man? Nobody calls it that anymore. But yeah, blunts and hip hop go together like strawberries and cream. It's part of the whole scene. So when I when I hung out with those guys, and I used to go and go to their studios, and they were producing music. Yeah, that was when I actually did the bulk of my smoking, if you will. But I never got addicted to cigarettes, because I only ever did it with those guys, and when it was, the herbal medicine man, when the herbs were being passed around, was the only time. So I never picked up a cigarette habit. But I grew up with smokers. Christ, Iranian parties are like Greek parties. You could walk in and you could see the haze of smoke. You could cut it with a freaking knife. It's so thick because Middle Easterners, Greeks, I'm sure they smoke constantly.
Yeah, and Israelis, mate. Like seriously, living out in Cyprus, my smoking has got worse. Like, say for example, I go over one of my Greek mates' house, and we're all sat there drinking coffee. Well, you just sit there for 4 or 5 hours drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes. I'll smoke 40 in that 5-hour period, no worries.
Yeah.
It's insane.
This is what
like how in Britain, like say for example, you go around your mate's house, you don't ask him for a cup of tea. You just walk in the kitchen and put the fucking kettle on and start making yourself a cup of tea, don't you? You know what I mean? It's like the British way, right? Yeah, in Cyprus and Greece and Israel, it's like that, but with the cigarettes. You sit down, you help yourself to your mate's cigarettes, start smoking.
Yeah.
Everyone's cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's so just everywhere. I mean, has Cyprus banned smoking inside pubs and bars the same as the other parts of Europe, or are they still okay?
Oh yeah, it's technically European law that smoking is banned inside now. So
it's European
yes,
law, so it's not actually just like individual countries. It's Europe-wide. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting, because I thought it was just the Europeans. Just British or just individual countries deciding on their own. But they actually made it a European law that every country in Europe. Ooh, okay. Because you see, the weird thing is, I don't notice when people don't smoke anymore, because I never smoked myself, so it's not something I notice outright. But only when I go to places where you can smoke, like in Republic of Czech, for example, it suddenly dawned on me that, oh my God, people are sitting in this coffee shop or in this restaurant and they're just smoking away. And I was like, oh yeah, people used to do that. The only thing I recognize, the biggest thing I notice, is my clothes. I used to have to come home and shower and wash every item of clothing every time I went out clubbing or to bars and pubs, because of the smell of the smoke. I couldn't stand it when I got home. But now I just don't have to do that anymore. That's the one thing that's like the biggest thing. I don't have to like wash every item of clothing down to my tidy whities every time I go to a pub. But other than, I don't know. I find it weird though, because as a person who truly believes in freedoms, I think people should have the freedom to smoke. They should have the right, or at least not people, but the owner of that establishment, the pub owner or the club owner, should have the right to say whether I want my pub to be a smoking bar or not. You know what I mean? And that to me, I think, is a bit anti-liberal. where it's authoritarian. You're telling people you have to do this, you have to do that. Whilst
Okay, Banksy, but what about all the people that don't smoke? The
well,
staff that
don't go
work
to
there,
that
don't they
bar.
have a right to?
No, don't
Yeah,
go to
but
that
don't they have a right
pub.
to work in that place that's covered in
Unfortunately,
smoke?
you know what you expect when you go into a place that everybody smokes. If you have a bar, if I have a bar that's a smoking bar, this bar everybody will smoke in this bar, then if you want to work in this bar, you know what you're getting yourself into. This is the conditions. It's like saying because Muslims don't eat pork, supermarkets should stop selling ham because, well, it's unfair for Muslims to work in a place where they sell ham and bacon. How is it that one doesn't pass? It doesn't pass the smell test, does it? Because Muslims are now, believe it or not, some Muslims are making
Because
those claims.
with
By the way,
eating, yeah, but eating and being served pork isn't doing any damage to you, the individual. But having someone smoke in your work environment or somewhere where you are eating is affecting you
I know,
as the other individual.
I know.
So it's not just the person who's smoking; it's also having an effect on other people.
Oh,
So
I fully
if
accept
it
that.
wasn't like
No, I 100% accept that. It's just that I'm saying that people then who want to work in this bar should recognize that's the risk that comes with that job. Just like a Formula One driver knows that there's some inherent risks with that profession. There are inherent risks in lots of professions. People still take the risk. Deep sea divers, deep sea, what's it called? Oil well or oil. Oh man, what are those things called? Those oil tower things out in the North Sea.
oil rigs,
Oil rigs, yeah,
oil
deep sea
rigs.
oil rig welders. It's one of the deadliest jobs on the planet. So many people die doing that job, or even working on an oil rig is one of the most dangerous jobs on the planet. Same as deep sea fishers. Those fishing boats, deadliest catch and all that shit. Those are deadly jobs. People know the risks when they go to do that job, but they know that there's a huge mortality rate in those professions. So working in a bar that smokes comes with some inherent risks. You make a choice. You don't have to be a deep sea fisherman. You don't have to be an oil rig welder. But people still choose to do those jobs. I think this is the same. It should be classified in the same way. That and maybe even the insurance for that place. You know what I mean? If you want to have a bar that allows smoking, the insurance rates will be through the roof. But at least people have a choice. You see, what I want is people to have their choice to make the decisions that they want. If they are doing something highly risky, the insurance companies will say, I'm sorry, you're doing something highly risky, so your insurance for this place will be X amount. But if a person says, fine, I'll pay that, but I want this, then as a truly free society, we should be, free to say, fair enough. They want to take the risk. We'll let them do it. But this, you are banned from doing it. This is, to me, these are the signs of authoritarianism. That's why I don't like the European thing. The European thing doesn't tell you have a choice to do it. They tell you must not do it. You can't do this. You can do that. To me, that's authoritarian, dude. I can't. I am highly resistant to authority. I think that might be part of my makeup, because I've noticed this COVID has exposed a lot of people who are uncomfortable with authority. This COVID has shown a lot of people who normally appear to be fairly law-abiding citizens, and now they're out in the streets, getting arrested and getting pulled down to the floor by police because they don't like this authoritarian aspect of society. People, I'm not alone in this. I've noticed I'm not alone. There's a lot of people out there who don't like authoritarianism and who don't like to be told what to do by a bunch of people who we think are supposed to be working for us. Aren't the presidents and the prime ministers and the police technically working for us, the taxpayer? Then what are we doing? Why are they pulling us to the ground when we don't want to abide by their little rules? But then again, I'm also caught in a quagmire, because I know Cyprus and its authoritarianism has worked for them. Their health the society's health is better. They're in a better condition. Although they don't have 66 million people, though, do they? Cyprus is.
Nope.
I don't know what the percentage of people are in Cyprus.
1.2 million.
1.2 million.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me. I think there are villages in England that have got more people than fucking Cyprus. I'm not even talking towns. I'm talking villages. London has nearly 10 million people.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, how many people live in my town?
10?
10,000.
10,000. That's crazy.
Yeah. Next town over is the biggest one. It's 32,000 in the whole district.
Wow. Wow, that's no wonder. Of course you can control the numbers. You can easily then control viruses and all sorts of things with that sort of number. This is what people don't get. People are pointing out to like New Zealand. Oh, look, New Zealand, they've managed to reduce it down to 0. Look how amazing New Zealand. New Zealand has 4 million people. New Zealand is like not even half the amount of people London has. Of course they can control 4 million people. It's a piece of piss.
And also the police will give you a fine if they see you without a mask on in the shop or something.
Well, yeah.
It's not like in Britain where they're not even bothering with that.
Oh, they will. Technically, it's £100 fine if you're not wearing it.
Here it's €300, so no one wants to risk it. 'Cause who the fuck's got €300?
€300, motherfuckers. That is an absolute bitch. Bastards, €300. That's a real deterrent. Here is £100. I mean, to be honest with you, I know people rich people who park their Lamborghinis and Ferraris right on double yellow lines because they don't give a shit. What's it going to £60 ticket? Like, I give a fuck about a £60 ticket. Like, well, those rich people, they don't give a shit about a £60 ticket. And the only thing they might be pissed at if they get clamped or towed. But tickets, they don't give a crap. They don't give a crap. The guy's driving a £1 million Bugatti. You think he gives a shit about a £60 ticket? He buys one drink with that. So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it's a scale, and I suppose £100 is still not enough. I don't think for people to wear masks, but they're doing it, I guess, for people to at least have some negative consequence of not wearing a mask. To tell you the truth, this is the weird thing. Although I'm against the government's forcing people in this rule of 6 bullshit or wear masks or whatever, I'm against them forcing me to do it. I have never gone into a shop without a mask, though, ever since this COVID has started.
Yeah.
Because I do it because I want to do it. It's but I want it to be my choice. To be honest, now that they've done all this bullshit, I'm tempted to go to some of these protests in London without a mask and say, fuck you. just as a fuck you. It's like...
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how Banksy died of coronavirus. You heard it here live.
And this is how Banksy died. It's like one of those movies. I'm going to go to protest and say, fuck you, I'm not wearing a mask. And then next clip, everybody's at a funeral going, if only it wore a mask.
Also, Banksy, can I remind you that there is a TikTok video of mine where I get the coronavirus test. It isn't pretty, mate. So really? Do you really want to go through all of that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I should have watched that. I haven't seen the... So you actually went and got tested? And
yeah,
what do they do? What do they do? Take your blood? Walk us through it.
Take your blood. I fucking wish. Nah, mate. They stuck a swab in your mouth. They take a mouth swab. Yeah, it's fine. No problem. And then she's like, we just need to take a little sample from your nose, sir. I'm like, okay, taxi.
From what?
And from your nose.
Oh, nose.
From up your nose. And I'm like, okay. So she pushes my head back, and then she rams the fucking cotton bud thing right up the back of my nose and pulls it out. Oh, and we're not done yet, Banksy, because then she turns around and does it to the other fucking nostril as well.
Oh, but why the fuck is the nose? Why don't they just take some blood? You can tell if you have AIDS from your blood. They can't tell you've got corona. What, the corona doesn't fucking enter your bloodstream? It doesn't like it?
Maybe it's quicker for him to do the testing that way. I don't know.
maybe. Yeah,
that's how they do it.
yeah, because it does settle in your nose and your throat, and then it infects the chest and it's something to do with the heart as well. That's why people have elevated like heart rates and stuff, and they have obviously breathing problems because it does affect the lungs quite badly. So yeah, it does apparently do all of that. So anyway, so she shoved it 2 in your nose, 1 in the mouth. Anything else? Penis, japai? Any swabs of that? Any rectal examinations?
No, I've not been arrested recently, so I've not had any cavity searches.
So
put it that way.
she didn't go there. She didn't go anything below the waist. Then it was just mostly nose and mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they didn't take any blood or anything then.
Nope.
Wow. That's quite good. Well, it's not quite good. The nose thing sounds horrific. The mouth thing I could live with, but okay. But I mean, I'm actually been tempted to go and do it, just to see if I even have the antibodies, because that's another thing. A friend of mine, she's Iraqi. She's half Iraqi, half. I forgot. I think half Iraqi, half Syrian. Or anyway, she's of the Middle East, and she had her test, and she said she's got the antibodies apparently. So she's not actually. She's got kind of an immunity to this thing. Although it could technically, if you have the antibodies, you could potentially get it again. Certainly, if it mutates, you could get it again. But she seemed to have got away with it. Now I am interested because I haven't been terribly careful. I've been moderately careful. But
All right, hold on, Banksy. Before you finish this, just look in the chat, because I've just put, because I forgot, it's also on my other YouTube channel. There's the link. Put it on the screen and show everybody. And then tell me you really want to risk A, catching this, or even B, going for the test.
Okay, let me put this on our live thingy. Shoot, where is it? Where is it? What Kettle? Sorry, dude. Could you link that again? Because the link seems to have disappeared. Good man.
Got it?
Yes, I do. I shall post it, and then we shall sit and go through it, Mister. It's only 1 minute, so it's perfect.
Those TikTok videos, aren't they? They're only a minute long.
Nice and sweet and quick.
And I put that all together within a minute. It's a nice little video.
Okay. Let me do a little thing so we can all watch it. Do a little screen share so we can watch it. Audio. All right, you can see it, right? You should be able to see it now.
Yep, I see my beautiful face. Basically, in the mall in Paphos, they're doing free tests for the coronavirus.
Wow, they're doing it for free.
So I'm in the mall, as you can see, and we're gonna get a coronavirus test, which is here. Is it basically? So let's do it, shall we? Just been given this little tube thing. Easy.
Oh, whoa!
Oh wow! Fucking back in. Did you see that? Did you see that? So, as you just seen, I got a.
It looked like it touched the back of your brain. The way
it did. It felt like that. Now I'm waiting for your reaction because it's delayed on YouTube, so now I get to see your reaction of it. And then it is. And you're like, whoa!
I thought it's gonna pull out your eyeball from your nostril. The way like, what are you trying to spear me, or are you trying to just take a fucking little swab?
Exactly.
Let me go back. Sorry, I'm just gonna play.
I still have PTSD from that.
Let me just. See that nice and sweet, and we don't even need the sound. Just the facial image. The facial image alone is enough. Look at your eyes. Look at the eyes. Here comes the eyes.
I'm just like all normal. Whoa! And then fuck.
You look like you got shot in the nose.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that looks fucking awful. Oh, oh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard, but it's fucking, it looks terrible. It's terrible and hilarious. I see now why you're not exactly a fan.
Okay, so as you just seen,
Yeah.
I got a swab in the mouth, and I got a swab up each nostril. Oh my god, that is fucking weird sensation. They ram it right up there and take the sample.
Oh, that's awesome. That is precious. Holy shit! I had no idea. That looks terrible. That looks horrific.
Yeah. So do you want to fuck around with the anti-mask
Yeah.
protest people?
Yeah,
Risk getting this.
yeah. I might not do that, but I might not do that now. I don't want someone to poke the back of my magdilla. My what is it? Cerebellum or some shit. What is that lower part of the brain called? I keep forgetting, but you know what I mean. That
I
part.
know what you mean, yeah.
It feels like they might diminish my memory of my childhood because they just penetrated through.
I still suffer with PTSD because of it.
Holy crap! Holy crap! Yes, yeah, that is actually the cerebellum, the bottom part, or the brain stem. It might have been the brain stem. It might have been. Did you feel unbalanced and uncoordinated afterwards? Because that's the part that controls the cerebellum controls that. The temporal lobe, maybe. Lost auditory processing, hearing, language. You come out afterwards going,
It was basically like that. It was brutal, mate.
oh my god, oh my god, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. But I mean, you were obviously passed. You were cleared, right? So you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm totally negative.
Oh, that was fantastic. That was so.
Yeah, I was negative.
Here's
Came
another.
back like 48 hours later.
Yeah. Oh, that's quite quick as well. 48 hours, and then bam, they told you were clean. So you did they test you for like what you called it, antibodies or anything like that?
No idea. I think they just tested you for the virus.
For the virus. Okay. So you were clean of the virus, but they don't know if you may have got some kind of antibodies for it, just in case, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm thinking. I haven't been that particularly careful, and I wasn't that particularly like. I went out after about a month to a barbecue, so I started mingling. I would think fairly early, after about a month and a bit of the lockdown process, because I was going stir crazy. So I'm thinking to myself, actually no, it wasn't it was I think maybe 2 months, but in that sort of zone. So I was pretty early. I wasn't like sat in isolation for months on end. I started going out. I haven't admittedly seen one of my closest friends, because he's the one that's paranoid, not me. Since March, I haven't seen him because he's just paranoid as hell. But other than him, just about every family member and most of my friends I've been seen or out or whatever barbecues, and I've been to Speaker's Corner several times. I've been to the Churchill statue protest at least once. Should have gone today and yesterday as well. There were protests in Trafalgar Square. But either way, I haven't haven't been cautious, like overly cautious. I've just been moderately cautious. I've always wore gloves and washed my hands regularly, but I generally do that because I bite my nails, so I have to regularly either wash my hands or wear gloves, which will stop me from biting my nails.
That is gross.
I know. Unfortunately, it's a bad habit, but it's a habit that I've always had, so I'm constantly aware of that I do bite my nails. So if I wear gloves, I don't bite my nails, and I don't put my hand in my mouth. Hence, I don't, get any shit in my mouth. But that's general germs and bacteria anyway. It's not just corona, it's just generally as a whole. I've been trying to avoid that. But I haven't even had a cold. Touch wood. I don't know. I'm not superstitious, but touch wood anyway. Yeah, I haven't even had my regular, like, I get a cold once around spring because of the weather change, and once around autumn to winter sort of change, that period. I get a bit of a bad sort of cold. Haven't really suffered from anything this year. I do take Manuka honey fairly regularly, and I did almost on a 2-3 times basis last year. This year I've been taking Manuka, but not as regular as I did last year. I do take zinc and vitamin D tablets, because generally vitamin D, although sun isn't bad, you get plenty of sun. I don't get as much sun in this country as you do, so vitamin D supplements are somewhat needed. Zinc, because it's generally pretty good as well. So I do take those supplements, but again, I've been taking them for a while, and even when I was taking them last year and year before, I still managed to catch a cold at least once, pretty like bad cold. But this year it's been really good. This year I've been relatively healthy. Certainly I've had no illnesses since March, like nothing, not even a sniffle. Oh, hay fever though. Hay fever is a bitch. I don't know if you suffer from that, but hay fever is a kick in the ass for me. Yeah. Other than that, other than a bit of hay fever, which makes me look like I'm plague-ridden, by the way. This is the worst part of this corona thing, is people like me and others who have hay fever, we look like we've got the plague, because we've got red eyes, we've got fucking sneezing constantly, or regularly.
Admit it. It's because you're smoking weed all the time, isn't it?
That's what it is. It's the hay fever is coming from the from the weed. I haven't actually smoking weed in years now.
Lies.
I'm not joking. I haven't been in that circle of friends for quite a long time. Most of the friends that I'm out with, that I work with and stuff, admittedly they smoke, but none of us smoke at work. And we usually, when we go out after work, we're just drinking. They're not really smoking weed. So I haven't been in that circle of weed smoking friends. Although I should have gone for, was it 2040? Is it 24? No, 420. Is it 420 that day everybody goes and smokes weed at parks? Yeah, I haven't been to that. Didn't go to that few years now. At Notting Hill Carnival, I've passive smoked weed. I've had loads of people around me smoke a shit ton of weed, and I've inhaled it, I guess, in the air. But I haven't actually smoked like a joint myself at least 2-3 years, because I just haven't been in that circle of friends that do it. I'll be honest though. For me, it needs to be a mood thing. I can't just sit down and just smoke weed for the hell of it. I have to have like a. Now there was one time which I consider my perfect weed smoking moment. It was the most perfect moment. That weed was just amazing, and this was with a friend of mine. Over 10 years ago now. We worked. He had a pizza. He owned a pizza shop, and I used to go in summer times when I was at uni. So we're talking, Christ, not more than 10 years ago, nearly 20 years ago. I used to go in the summer times and work at his pizza shop, and we worked from 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. until 3 a.m. So we worked the whole day. We worked the lunch shift as well as the evening shift. We took a few hours break in between, but we worked the whole night, me and him and a few other staffs, and it was busy. It was insanely busy. When we came home, I was dying. My whole body was killing me, aching. My feet were killing me. And he said to me, dude, I'm going to cook some food. He had these Turkish sausages. We're going to cook some of these sausages. We're going to sit down, we're going to eat this, and we're going to smoke a joint. And then we take a shower and go to bed. was like, all right, dude, let's do that.
You took the shower together, yeah?
Of course, yeah. I mean, he scrubbed
Yeah,
my
just-
back, I scrubbed his, I tickled his balls, he, fingered my ass. Yeah, the usual. What happens,
Good, good, good. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, we made those sausages. We ate those sausages and smoked that joint, and that joint felt unbelievably good. I have never experienced that level of pleasure. Now, it could have been maybe the fact that I was so tired and it really relaxed me. Or it could have, maybe alcohol would have done that. I don't know. But at that moment and that precise scenario, that joint was the most amazing thing I had ever experienced, because it was just so, it's like all the pain in my body just disappeared, just seeped out of my feet and just went and disappeared. It was unbelievable. That was, for me, the quintessential perfect moment of smoking weed. Other than that, the rest of the time, no, I've had times where it's made me feel sick. It's made me feel like, constantly feel like I'm about to vomit. Yeah, I've had times where it's made me, gave me a headache. But then different types of weed, the skunk stuff is a bit shit as well. I got to admit, I don't really like skunk. Skunk doesn't suit me well. I prefer Sensimilia or other more mild, strains. I don't like skunk. Skunk it doesn't suit me. It doesn't, I think my biochemistry doesn't really go well with it. But when I'm exceedingly tired, then maybe it goes well. But that's it. That's the one time when I can say it was the perfect moment. Otherwise, it's been a bit of a roller coaster for me. My relationship with weed hasn't been constant, and it hasn't always been good. I've had times where I didn't like it at all. It really messed me up. Now, I've never tried edibles. Have you ever tried edibles?
Of course I have. Do you know how many times I've been to Amsterdam?
Oh, well, there you go. Now,
I make my own edibles.
have they affected you differently than smoking? Because apparently they work different.
Yes, they do work different, and yes, they have affected me differently compared to smoking.
Better or worse?
Better for pain management.
Really?
Yeah. But for like getting high, not really.
I'm with you. So it's actually not as good for getting high as it is for just getting rid of your pain or physical like aches and pains. That's interesting.
Exactly.
I've never thought of it that way. But yeah, no, I've never done it in the edible form. And I know in Canada, because it's legal in Canada, you can buy gummy bears, weed gummy bears now. And I'm presuming in those states in America as well, I think Washington State and Colorado or whatever, a few states that have made it legal. You can actually buy the edibles now.
You sure can.
Yeah, I don't understand why Britain is so far behind with this. Britain is like really fucking behind with the whole weed thing. I mean, how is it America is ahead of Britain when it comes to weed? I mean, it's crazy. They should, just fucking legalize it. Then I can buy some gummy bears.
Thank you. Exactly.
I want the fucking weed gummy bears. I saw them. I saw them on like some website when Canada legalized weed, and I was like, "Oh, you fuckers! I want this. I so want, because I mean, I guess people can make brownies and cookies or whatever at home, but gummy bears are going to be pretty tough to pull off. That whole, getting that gelatine shit going and all that. I suppose you could make jelly. You could make weed jelly, I suppose. I don't know. Have you ever made weed jelly?
No, but I've made like weed pancakes, weed brownies, weed bolognese, weed lasagna.
Bolognese?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Is it? Do you just mix it in like oregano and stuff? Is that how you sort of mix it
Pretty
with the
much.
herbs?
Kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah.
Do you have to grind it down like really fine though?
Nah, not really. I just put it in the grinder and then start sprinkling it in, going nuts. It depends on what I'm making. Like with the lasagna, I put it in with like the white sauce. Oh, it's beautiful.
Really? I'm sure that the effects that it gives you must be insane as well afterwards. That is really, really interesting. Weed lasagna. Oh, dude, I so want that. I want weed lasagna. I've heard people made weed pizza, like they sprinkled it onto a pizza, like oregano. But weed lasagna, that's gotta be crazy.
Yeah.
That's gotta be something special. Ooh, that one actually, I would definitely go for as well. Now you see, now I've got 2 weed products which I have to have: weed lasagna and weed gummy bears.
Well, you need to come to Cyprus for the lasagna because I got to make it for you.
Yes, and then we can hop along to Amsterdam. I'm sure they have weed gummy bears in Amsterdam. They must do.
They sure do.
Yeah. I gotta make that. This is the thing. I wish they made it legal here. It'd be so easy. Then I would be able to buy some and bring it back. It's such a shame. And also in Portugal, I guess Portugal is legal as well, isn't it? Portugal legalized like everything.
They decriminalized everything and then made some of it illegal.
Made some of it illegal or legal? Legal.
No, they decriminalized it all.
Yeah.
And then they made some of it legal. So like weed is legal.
Yeah. Yes. But actually, all drugs are decriminalized in the sense that you won't necessarily get a jail sentence, but you will have to get, I guess, treatments and sort of see doctors.
Don't even need to get treatment. Well, I mean, unless you commit a crime while intoxicated, then you will.
I'm with you.
But you're not getting done for the drug possession or drug use. You're getting done for the crime you've committed, because crimes are still crimes.
Of course, yeah. You can't still thieve. You can't steal and kill and do all the other shit because you're on drugs. But also, how do they control these crime barons and people bringing in kilos and kilos of cocaine and heroin into the country? How do they actually manage that then? Because that must make Portugal a massive port for people to just bring in all this shit, and then from there.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I would have imagined you would you take in like 10 kilos of cocaine. You want to get it into Europe.
Cocaine.
Yeah, and you want to get it into Europe. Well, you go to Portugal, you land in Portugal. Even if they catch you, it's not a criminal offense, so you're not going to go to prison for it. And then from there, your mules will distribute it across other parts of Europe. You would have thought that would be the route in for most of these drug barons who want to distribute drugs across Europe. Of course, Britain is still an island, so Britain still stands alone in that, but the rest of Europe would have perfect access, because as far as I know, now I'm not sure, I haven't gone across Spain and Portugal borders, but I presume it's similar to like Belgium and France border, because when I went to France and I drove from from Calais to Brussels, I just got on a motorway and I just made a beeline for Brussels. It was like going from London to, I don't know, Birmingham or something. There was no borders. There was no toll. There was nothing. It was just drive.
Well, that's the European Union for you, isn't it? That's how it works.
Yeah, but I presume that's how it is with Spain and Portugal. You would just get in a car and just freaking floor it all the way to Spain, and then from Spain you go to Italy, France, wherever. And so Portugal would be like a crazy port of entry for drugs, if it isn't already.
Well, I mean, importing drugs is still illegal, I believe.
Okay, so that's what I meant. So they can still catch you and jail you for bringing in 40 kilos of cocaine on a fucking dinghy.
Yeah. I know weed's legal, but other stuff I'm not sure how it all works.
Well, weed, if it's legal, then it kind of kills the drug industry for them in that part of it. You know what I mean? It'll kill they won't have any, the drug barons and illegal drug dealers won't have any stake in weed, because there's no money in it while it's legal. So that's gonna kill that industry in that sense. But of course it'll rejuvenate an entire new weed industry, which is what's happened in Canada and in America. All the places that they legalized weed, there's like whole businesses have emerged now, massive companies and chain stores and all sorts of things where they sell weed. That's their product.
Yeah. It's the best part about it, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and also, of course, those particular states are cashing in on all the tax money that's coming in from the weed sales as well. I mean, I just don't see, to be perfectly honest. Apart from, I mean, again, if you get people like Ralph and the Puritans, they're all going to be about this degenerate behavior. But in reality, as long as alcohol and cigarettes are legal, then if you're not making weed legal, then you're doing something. It's because of some other fuckery. It's not because you're truly give a shit about people's health. Because alcohol and cigarettes kill far more than weed does, and it's been shown to be far more addictive, far more harmful. I mean, if cigarettes were discovered now, if tobacco was discovered in this century, it'd be illegal. It'd be more illegal than fucking cocaine. So there's no way you're going to tell me that cigarettes and alcohol are legal and weed is going to cause more harm. So to me, that's all. That argument is bullshit. But as far as all the financial benefit and the industry and the sort of commercial benefit, not to mention just general benefit of the fact that your society you're not criminalizing young boys and girls because they just smoked a little joint. That's all good. I don't see that much downside to that. Versus, again, as I'm only putting it on the scale of what I see with what is already legal, which is pharmaceutical drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and even fucking coffee. Even coffee can have really bad. Coffee is addictive. Coffee has bad problems as well. It causes problems. So, fucking coffee is like everywhere. This is something, I don't know if you ever noticed. Maybe I'm an old fucker now. But back in the day, I remember, especially like when you go back to 90s and 80s, coffee was not for children. Coffee was only for adults. People would not give coffee to their children because it was bad for them. And it was, it wasn't meant to be drank for by kids. How is it now we let freaking toddlers fucking drink coffee? I mean,
because life's hard, man.
I mean, Red Bull, and I was washing my car, as in I went to a car wash, and I was in this garage, and I saw all these Red Bull.
More upper class snobbery right there. He gets his car washed at a facility, guys.
Look, I don't.
Can you believe this?
Look, when I want my car properly washed, and I want the interior and everything to be vacuumed, then I have to go to a place because it's really fucking awkward for me to wash it. I don't have a wonderful front garden with garage and all these all these rich people's facilities. So it's actually because I'm poor I have to go and have my car washed. If I was rich, I'd be able to afford a fucking jet wash and a nice back front yard and a garage where I could wash my fucking car. It's the opposite of actually being rich is the reason I have to go get my fucking car washed. But anyway, but while I was waiting for the car, I saw these Red Bull has a magazine called the Red Bulletin. I didn't even realize Red Bull has a magazine, and I'm like, they're selling this carcinogenous shit to children, and they have a fucking magazine to go with it too. And then I looked around, and all these Red Bulls and Red Bull derivatives, Monster, and all sorts of other crap, and I'm like. I mean, but don't get me wrong. I used to drink this shit like it was water. I used to drink it like my life depended on it. I drank at least 2 to 4 cans a day, and I know friends of mine who used to go and buy them in 6 and 8 packs of Red Bull. So I wasn't alone, and IT people, especially programmers, they live off that shit because they need their brain to be like sharp and on it all the time. And maybe that's why my brain slowed down in latter years, because I stopped drinking Red Bull. Well, I had to. My doctor said, dude, this thing is killing you. You're getting serious problems. You get the high blood pressure, sugar levels on my body is all over the shop. I've got fatty liver, all sorts of fucked up shit was happening to me. This was like in 2013. I had to cut all of that shit out. I had to cut out sugar. I had to, I'm admittedly nowadays I do drink Coke Zero and stuff like that, which isn't great, these sugar substitutes. But I had to cut out a lot of this crap, and I haven't drank a Red Bull like a whole can. I mean, I've had it in like Jaeger bombs, but I'm sorry, Jaeger bombs. You have to have it with a Red Bull. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Well, you expect me not to drink a fucking Jägermeister with Red Bull or what? With water?
Yeah.
What, you wanna have a Jaeger bomb in a fucking glass of water? Then you don't fucking subject me to that shit. That ain't a life I want to live. So I'm sorry. If it comes to a Jaeger bomb, I'm putting that shit in Red Bull or Red Bull substitute. That's how that thing goes down my throat. But apart from
pretty much, I agree.
exactly. So apart from that, though, I have not bought a can of Red Bull since 2013, and just haven't touched the stuff. And like now, it's dawned on me the kind of crap I was just pouring down into my body, and it's kind of. It's it makes you think. It makes you, because the other day, earlier on this week, I was talking to Amy about health, good health, and healthy eating and healthy diets. And you seem to be in a reasonably good shape most of the time. Now, I don't know, is that because you constantly eat, drink diuretics, or you just don't eat, or you're on cocaine all the time? I'm not sure what it is that you do. You seem quite thin.
Well, don't stuff my face as much as I used to.
Every time I
try
see
and
your
eat
TikTok
healthy.
video, you're eating a burger.
What? That's not true.
Do you want me to go through his TikTok fucking videos and highlight every time he's eating chips and burgers? There's like at least 12.
Okay, maybe there's like 3. Okay, but there is pork chops in there, chicken,
Yeah, well, I mean, admittedly, it's good.
some more chicken,
Some more chicken.
English breakfast, some English breakfast, some kebab.
Yeah, you're listing all the healthy
Kebab got
options.
salad. Yeah, kebab's got salad, mate. What are you chatting?
That's what it is. It's the kebabs with the salad. But I guess
Yeah, exactly.
you maintain your just generally the amount. You just don't eat like a hippo.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is unfortunately my problem. It's not that I eat unhealthy, but even if I was a vegetarian, elephants are vegetarians. It's a lot
But
to do
every
with
now and
quantity.
then you might see me eat something vegan, Every now and then.
You're not a
there'll be something
vegetarian
vegan.
anyway, are you? So you do it's because I thought at one point you were kind of a vegetarian. Were you not? Were you eating beetroot
No,
burger or
no.
some shit?
Yeah, I mean, I've been known to eat a beetroot burger or two. I eat vegan food and make videos about vegan food, but
But you're
I'm
not a vegan.
culturally vegan.
Oh, you're
No, I'm
culturally
culturally-
vegan.
Yeah,
So you like the idea of vegans, but you still eat meat.
yeah, exactly. You got it.
I'm a cultural vegan. I don't really
Yeah,
not
much.
eat meat. I give them moral support. If I see a vegan, I'm like, go, brother,
Exactly.
as I chomp down on my chicken burger.
Oh, now I want a fucking chicken burger, you bastard.
You're spiritually with them. You're with them in spirit. Maybe not
Yeah.
in body or taste. Oh shit! But I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, you generally, you do keep in reasonable good shape. But I suppose, yeah, you just manage your intake, unlike the rest of us who just fucking do nothing but eat.
Exactly.
Also, you live in a very hot.
Stop.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so stop stuffing your face, you fat bastard.
Exactly. That is a message that goes out to all of us. If you're out there who haven't been able to identify your dick for the past 8.5 years, if you need a photo from the police department to be able to tell you what your dick looked like in the last 8 years, then perhaps you should put down that burger.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, I've started this. You see, all these years I've been looking for some method, some system that works for me. It's not about diets. Everybody has an opinion on diets. Don't get me wrong. Every time I talk to someone and say I'm doing this dietary program, they're like, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I'm like, fuck's sake. Every asshole is a personal instructor and a dietitian. and yet none of them work unless you find something that works for you. That's why I will never ever give anyone any kind of advice on diets. All I will ever say is this is what I am doing, because that's the only thing you can ever do, is find what works for you, what you can hold on to. Like everybody talks about, I have the low calorie diet, I have the keto, keto, whatever, the keto, the keto type. Oh, shit, I forgot what it's called. Kenosis, something like that. Anyway, fudge, I forgot what it was called. But anyway, it's the concept of only eating meat, and the meat triggers a particular process in your body, which then starts to reduce fat. Anyway, it's mostly bollocks, because it's this doctor guy who founded it years and years ago. They did a double-blind study, and the study proved that those people who only eat on the keto diet, and versus those who were just eating low-calorie diet, in fact, the keto people did lose more weight, but that's because after a few weeks of just eating nothing but protein meals, no carbs, they started to get sick of meat. They started to get sick of eating just meat and eggs and cheese. So they just ate less. Their diaries showed that they just started to eat less. And so that's it. They ate less food, so they lost more weight. Gee, there's the magic formula. Stop shoveling shit in your mouth. Less shit in, you lose weight, and that's what worked for. That's what works for some people. They just eat less, or they do the keto or the low carb. What I found is I'm doing the one day on, 1 day off, effectively, and so far I am coming up to my I'd say I'm almost.
We don't really need to know about your fapping schedule. 1 day fapping, 1 day not. Like, we're talking about your food, mate.
Yes. Now, apart from the fact that my left arm has the biceps of Hercules, and I can then sheet metal with my bare hands. My right arm can't lift up a fucking Mars bar, though. But my left arm could rip a grown man's fucking spine out of their back. Apart from that, I'm just over a month now. I'm in this pattern of you eat 1 day, you don't the next. That's it. And well, you do only up to 500 calories. So you eat very minimal 1 day, and you eat normal the next day. And so far, it is a diet that I can handle, because I don't have to worry about preparing a fucking 7 years worth of food ahead of time, like spend my entire Sunday or weekend preparing 1,000 meals because they all have to be calorie controlled and all that bullshit. I don't. All I know is that today I can eat, tomorrow I will only eat at 6 o'clock, and I will make a meal which is usually a salad with a piece of meat. Now, be it a steak or a chicken breast. That's it. No carbs. I mean, admittedly, I could eat carbs if the carbs would allow that 500 within that 500 calories. But the problem is carbs tend to not fill you up properly, and they tend to be quite high calorie as well. So it just doesn't seem to make sense for me to waste my calorie, that portion that I have on some potatoes and rice and stuff, rather than just a nice piece of meat and a salad. And so I do that. I have a nice steak or chicken breast, salad, and that's it. At 6 o'clock, I know I can 7 o'clock, depending on what I'm doing. I tend to be able to do that. Drinks, you can drink pretty much what you want as long as it's sugar-free, or water. Coffee, I have coffee with milk, but that's minimal. That's not too bad. That sort of thing. I can do that all throughout the day. Now, occasionally during the day in the morning, I become ravenously hungry. And I have a couple of, celery sticks to try to...
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Celery sticks.
I know. No, I'm not joking. On the days... Because all I'm thinking in my head is I have to make it to 6 o'clock. That's all I have to do. In the morning when I get up, I just have to make it to 6. If I can survive and fight off the hunger pains, because you're not actually starving. Your body, I've got enough fat reserves to fucking, take me through to 2021. So I'm pretty fine. I literally, if I stop eating until next year, I'd still be fine, as long as I drink water. You can't survive without water for more than a few days, but you can without food. You can survive for months without food. I think it's 3 months actually, to be healthy, that is. But generally, I've got enough fat reserves to get me through to months of not eating, let alone just a day. So all I'm thinking is, it's your brain. The challenge isn't physical. The challenge is psychological. And I know that I'm in this war with my brain, and I have to beat my will. I have to have enough will to overpower my instinctual, the signals from my brain telling me, you gotta eat, you gotta eat, you gotta eat. Now, if I have one celery stick or a couple of little bits of celery sticks, which I usually buy and chop up, then that gets me through to 6 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock, I eat. And I'm actually quite full when I eat at 6 o'clock. I'm hungry as fuck. I'm ravenous. But I eat at 6, 7, depending on what I'm doing. And then I'm good till about 9, 10 o'clock at night. Now, around 9, 10 o'clock at night, things can get a little bit off. If I just drink some tea or have coffee is really off, because coffee is going to keep you up. So I try to drink some sort of green tea or something that doesn't have a lot of caffeine or anything that keeps me up. And I just have to make it until I pass out, fall asleep. Or if I'm up till 1 or 2, sometimes I might eat a little something around. Because if I go past 12 midnight, technically I'm in the next day. So technically I have made it. Because I have to just survive between 12 a.m. till 12 a.m. That's what I have to do. I have to make it through that fucking 24-hour period. If I make that 24-hour period, and if I'm still up at 1 in the morning, I might eat a little something just to, get over the hunger pain. But generally, if I can survive that, then that's it. I've done my 24 hours. And then I'm good. The next day, I get up, I make fucking pancakes, syrup, bacon, sausage. That's fucking breakfast. Eggs. And depending on what I want, like if I fancy, last week I fancied Burger King's Whopper, and I saved myself. I think it was on a Monday, or it was Monday or a Tuesday was my fast day. I think it was a Tuesday was the fast day. I ate something on Monday, and then I was like, oh shit, I've eaten too much today. I can't eat anything else, or I shouldn't eat too much. So I said, okay, Wednesday I am fucking going to Burger King. That's what's happening on Wednesday. And
all this talk of food and whatnot is now making me hungry, and now I want fucking fried chicken, you fucking bastard.
But yeah, but that's a good thing. I can do that. I know I can go Wednesday, went to Burger King, got myself a Whopper, and I ate that totally guilt-free because I survived Tuesday. And I made it through, and it wasn't that I was eating this with. There's always like a little bit of guilt in my head when I eat food that I like, because I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, man. I should be exercising. I'm too overweight. But when I do that, I am guilt-free. And although, don't get me wrong, Whoppers are fucking high in calories. They're like 700-800 calories. It's amazing how much calorie there is in a Whopper. When I was looking it up, I was like, holy shit. That's just the burger, not including the fries, not including the drinks and all the other crap. Just the burger is like 700-800. So it is.
Yikes.
It's high calorie, and the fries, I'm sure, probably top you up at around like 1,000 calories, and that's just fucking one meal. And most fat people eat like 2 of those. I'm not joking. I've seen people who ordered like triple Whoppers and double Whoppers, and all sorts of shit. So big fat people eat, and this is a bullshit thing, by the way. These fat guys, these fat people who are so obese, these fat feminists who sit in audiences and go, oh, don't fat shame me. Oh, I'm very healthy. I eat very healthy for my weight. Bitch, you're sweating whilst you're talking. Whilst you're giving your little speech about how healthy you are, I can see beads of sweat roll down your fucking forehead. You're out of breath just talking. And you're telling me you're healthy. You ain't healthy. And that's the other thing. Fat people, and I know, because fat people know fat people, and fat people secret eat. They secret eat all the time. Like, this girl will sit in front of you and munch down on a little salad, like during your date, but then go home and order like 12 large, two large pizzas from Uber because she ate a salad during the date. If a girl on a date only eats salad and she's got a fat ass, be sure that when she gets home, she has Uber Eats waiting. That's my message.
I'm ordering KFC right now, so I mean that proves the point, really.
Exactly. What are we looking at? We're looking at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at yours, right?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, dude. It's been 2 hours. It's up to you. If you want to keep going, I'm still up for talking more, but it's entirely up to you. I know you're a few hours ahead of me. So, and you ordered food. So when your food arrives, we'll knock it on the head.
All right. Well, I'm literally ordering now.
There you go. So that's going to be like 20-30 minutes. Probably about 30-35 minutes. So that'll give us that thing. So what'd you get up to today? Anything fabulous? Went for a swim?
Yeah, in the pool.
Bastard. Absolute bastard. What's the weather like over there?
Same as it always is. Fucking beautiful.
Actually, here's the thing I wanted to talk to you. Recently, you spoke again to Anne-Marie Waters. It's Waters, right? It is Waters, yeah. I keep saying Walters, I think, by mistake. So how is she? How is things? I've been trying to keep up a little bit. I lost track a bit of For Britain activities in more recent times. But what is she up to?
Just campaigning, getting ready for handing out leaflets, writing new policies. They've just done a new thing for climate change on their website. Yeah, just check out their website. They've been really kind of focusing on making sure their policies and things that they support are on their website and stuff. Nice.
Has she been? Is she into this whole sort of COVID lockdowns things? What are the thoughts on that? Do you know? Has she gone to any of these protests?
She's annoyed at the government. No, because she's not a moron. She's been obviously talking about it, but she's been a bit naughty, not wearing her mask when she should be. But other than that, yeah.
She's still on board with the general policies that the government has laid out.
Yeah, apart from being pissed off at the government because they've kind of been a bit sort of all over the place when it comes to what they're going to do and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which we've seen.
I did exactly that. I did a stream a few days back about the sort of mixed messaging of this the rule of six. Even this is the problem. You see, my problem with this government's stuff, apart from the fact that I don't like the authoritarian nature of it, is their mixed messaging. Like in the rules of England isn't the same as the rules of Ireland, isn't the same as in Northern Ireland, the same as Scotland, the same as Wales. Wales has a different set of rules. I can go out with a whole group of people. I can go out with up to 15 people outside in Wales, as long as, but only from 2 households. Whilst in Britain, I can be with 6 people, each of them from a different household. It's like how is this even remotely? Like, if I go to Wales today, hang out with 15 people from one Welsh family, or 14 people from one Welsh family, and then I drive back to London, hang out with 6 people from different families, and then go back to those Welsh people with the one family. Well, I've just taken whatever the hell that these 6 over here have got and taken it to that one Welsh family in Wales. Diseases don't pick and choose. So like this doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It seems ludicrous how a singular landmass or single nation, Britain, has 3 different rules within it itself, not including how many foreigners are flying back and forth from whatever standards they have in their countries. And that's a massive mess as well, because there are plenty of countries you don't even have to quarantine to go in and out of right now, and not to mention, of course, the rubber dinghy boys who are arriving daily. God knows what the fuck they're bringing over.
Yeah.
So like it's a giant fucking mess. It's a giant mess. There's no consistency, no real leadership. It's all over the fucking shop, and that's why people are like, fuck these people. They don't even look like they know what they're doing. I honestly don't think the government really does know what they're doing. I don't think they've got the shit on any kind of real lockdown or real control over this virus, and I don't think they even know what this, how to handle it. They're just putting shit out, hoping that some of it will work somewhere. They're just throwing shit at the wall, hoping some of it will stick. I just don't see.
Boris Johnson for you.
Well, but I don't think anybody would do any better. I don't see any other countries actually performing any better, except countries like Cyprus and New Zealand, places where there are the population is quite tiny. When the population is quite small, they seem to be able to have it under control.
Czech Republic did all right as well.
What did they do?
Sort of similar to us, lock down the borders, lock the airports down, put people into.
Oh, keep going.
I'm not sure what their population is. Yeah, they also did mandatory mask wearing and stuff since like day one. I'm trying to think what else they did. Also, they worked with Taiwan because Taiwan was like the only country in the world that was prepped for this. Because this isn't the first time China's done this shit show.
Well, yeah.
Where the virus has got out. The Taiwanese had to deal with this in the early noughties, and so they were prepped for it.
Same as Korea. South Korea dealt with it really well as well. South Korea, even Japan has dealt with it. But again, because of the SARS, they were already in that position. Czech Republic has 10.69 million. Again, less than, or about the same as the population of London. So they managed to control the population of London almost. You see, the thing is, this is the thing about these small countries is it's not the fact that it's just the fact that they're small in population. Their landmass is relatively big, so these people are all spread out, and so it's easier to keep the virus in check because you've got a small number of people spread out across a large area, or reasonably large area, certainly far bigger than London. So yeah, you're not going to have such a issue. But I think the East Asian, Southeast Asian countries, you're right. The reason they dealt with it so well was already they already had, people were already wearing masks for years. People were already.
Well, that's speaking of masks. I'm not going to stop wearing my mask. I think that's it now for the rest of my life. Like, people are gross, man. Like, I was thinking about it during the lockdown and everything. There was a guy in a shop that when he would talk, he would spit. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. That's it. From now on, I'm wearing masks for the rest of my life.
The thing is...
Like, y'all are gross and disgusting, people.
Yeah, it is. It is disgusting. And I've seen it not only at shops and stuff. I've seen it at Speaker's Corner. People are like spitting at Speaker's Corner. Like, spit is just flowing out of their face. You can see it. And other people are not even, people who are not wearing masks are fucking spitting practically into the face of other people. And imagine all these years people have been doing this anyway. We've been exchanging fucking airborne saliva for God knows how many years. It's just that it has always been socially unacceptable to wear masks because masks give people a sense of distrust. They still do to me to this day. That's why I'm starting to look at masks that have a little clear plastic window in them so that people can see me smiling, because smiling is a really important friendly gesture to someone. Like, oh, I'm sorry, and then you smile and you let them go by or something. Whatever it is that you're doing, smiling, facial...
You all ruined that because you're all fucking gross. So I'm taking my smile privileges away from y'all.
But it's a human
Stop
interaction.
Stop being gross,
thing.
people.
I know. It's really, but I don't think this mask thing will hold. Not in open societies. I mean, sure, women in burqas, but this is why people have a visceral reaction to women in burqas. It's not because they give a shit. Most people don't even give a shit about Islam. It's the fact that it makes me distrust this person that I can't see their face. It does that. It does that to all of us right now. I know a lot of people who, because I can't smile when I make eye contact, they kind of look at me and then they look away without any emotional. Like, sometimes it could even be like a swift cut off. They cut the eye contact really sharpish because they don't know whether I'm smiling behind that mask, whether I'm angry, whether I'm pissed, whatever. So they're not sure of my emotions. So they don't want to hold eye contact. I mean, even animals know, especially chimps and gorillas. If you look at someone directly in the eye, that's usually an aggressive gesture. That's why you don't look gorillas in the eye, because they become, the silverback sees that as a challenge to their authority.
Yeah.
Now, human beings, if we make eye contact, usually our smile or our facial expression then shows that person where we're at. If I'm frowning, if I'm not smiling, or if I'm smiling. Smiling usually puts people at ease. And if you can't do that, if you can't express that, then people are just generally a bit more wary, because they don't know you. They don't know who the fuck you are. They don't know what you're doing. And so, nowadays, I don't think this mask thing will hold, unless, like I've started to look at masks with windows in order to make sure that people know my facial expression, whether I'm smiling or not, because I think that's important. That's human. Most of our human interaction. This is why internet is such a shit show all the time, because when it comes to dividing human communication, it's what was it? Oh man, the ratio is something like, now this is off the top of my head, I've got to check the exact figures. It's something like 70% body language, something around 10% or 15%, something 15%, tonality, the tone you use, and only 5 to 10% is the actual words coming out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the
It's
internet.
very true.
Yeah, that's why the internet is a massive shit show, because the only communication 90% of the time we have with another person on the internet is text. The Twitter. This is why Twitter is. If you notice, Twitter is so much more vicious than YouTube, because in YouTube, especially in this era, most people are putting their faces in front of a camera and they're projecting themselves, so you can at least see whether they're smiling, whether there is some facial and body language expressed. Twitter, there is no body language expressed whatsoever, not even tonality. It is purely the text, purely the words. That 5% of communication that human beings have is expressed on Twitter. So Twitter is a vicious fucking shit show. It's just a place for people to just rip into each other, or at least it appears that way, because we are using the least level of our communication. Human beings, we are not word-only communicators. Our body language is a massive communication tool. So we're losing out on a huge portion of our communication when we're just communicating through Twitter. And this communication that you and I are having is far better than just text, but we're still losing out on a huge chunk of our communication through body language. We don't see each other. I mean, I'm on camera right now, but only my audience sees me. Or I mean, you can probably see me in a delayed sort of reaction. But generally, we're losing a massive chunk of what would be. This is why those people who cam up on YouTube or on Skype or whatever communication that way, they're better communicators, and they're better communicating, they facilitate a better form of communication than those who are avatars.
Yeah, of course.
Avatars are losing their sort of place on the internet now. More and more people don't really like to watch people. I mean, there are a few exceptions, but Bering and what's his name, Atheism is Unstoppable. Those are a couple of very exceptional individuals who seem to be able to communicate really well just through their tonality and words. But a lot of YouTubers moved on from avatars. Sargon of Akkad used to be an avatar, and now he posts himself almost exclusively. Now he hardly ever uses avatars. Loads of other people stop using avatars and just put their faces out, because they find they connect with their audience a lot better. I found myself connecting with my audience a lot better since I put myself on camera than before. Although I have all these, I don't know what they call a costume, the hat, the glasses, this and that, the background. I use a lot of pageantry or costume, but then I see that as part of the show. I don't just see it as
Yeah.
just me sitting and having a fucking rant or natter with my audience. I like to jazz it up a little bit. Otherwise, you just see me in my fucking underwear with my man beater on, with fucking spaghetti stain down it, with a 5 days fucking growth on my chin of fucking beard that I haven't shaved. Going, what? It's been a shit day. I only masturbated twice, and I've done nothing else. No one wants that. Who wants that
No one
fucking
does
show?
indeed.
Nobody wants or needs that.
Exactly, mate.
Sitting there with a can of Stella. Although I'm not drinking tonight, though, guys. This is just orange cordial.
You're not drinking? Jesus Christ, that's the first, isn't it?
It's a Sunday. I tend to not want to drink on a Sunday. I do better on Fridays and Saturdays. But actually, this weekend, I didn't drink at all. This was a whole weekend I went through, Friday and Saturday.
This isn't very degenerate of you, Banksy.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're meant to be living up the degenerate life, and you're over here just being like a good Christian boy. Fucking hell.
It's disgraceful. I will immediately get the tequila out for the next show that I do, and I'll be hammered, going, "Fuck these people."
Right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna have to wrap up because my thing is going off. That they're on their way already.
Awesome, Mr. J. Awesome. I will bid you farewell, and wonderful talking to you again. Let's do it at your place next time. Let's have a little. Let's
Definitely.
bring Annie on. Do Annie. Talk to Annie. Say, Annie, let's do a stream with Banksy. Banksy loves all the things you're saying, all the pusti and and the malaka.
Pushti Malaga.
Pushti Malaga. Yes. Say, bring on your pushti on my show, and display it for all to see. But no, seriously, tell her if she wants to do a show. Let's set it up. She can do it from her place. You can be at yours, or whatever. You guys can bring her back to your place and just do it from yours. She'll be a great laugh. She sounds like a lot of fun. So yeah, guys, for those of you who don't know Annie, go on Annie's TikTok and check it out. She is awesome.
Or Greek YouTube channel, Annie the Greek. You can find her on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, she's got a YouTube as well. So there you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she had a YouTube. I only ever saw her on your TikTok.
I don't think she's uploaded to YouTube in a very long time, but yeah. You can also find her on Facebook at Annie the Greek.
Oh my God, yes, I see Annie the Greek. She only has 14 videos, so yeah, she's not a big YouTuber. She doesn't really bother with YouTube. I think TikTok is definitely her thing, but she could actually just take all her TikTok videos and just whack them on YouTube, just as a sort of a backup in case something happens to TikTok. But either way, there you go, Annie the Greek. Yeah, check her out. Mm-hmm. She's awesome. And yeah, if you can get her to sit down with us and have a little bit of a chit chat about what's been going on, that would be awesome as well. I think we can all benefit from a bit of Annie the Greek. So
we'll see what she says.
Definitely. Okay, my friend, thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna wrap up the show.
My pleasure.
And I will talk to you soon, or I'll chat to you on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm sure you will. But you have a good night, and I'll speak to you all later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, everyone. That's it. That is our little 2 hours. Christ, that went by quickly, actually. That went by a lot quicker than I thought. And yes, we're at the 2 hour mark. Well, guys and girls, thank you all for showing up. I'm gonna try and wrap this up with a little bit of music. I don't know. Shall we play Greek? No, we're not playing Greek anymore. We're gonna go for the next piece of music. It's a different piece of music. Also a cover song, but also awesome. So guys, let's. I don't know. What was the takeaway from this one? This one, I don't have a final message on this one. Let's just check out the War Kettle and the Soy Kettle on Twitter. Check out Annie the Greek, and hopefully we'll get Annie the Greek on. It's been awesome talking to Jay again, and I bid you all farewell. Keep everybody safe. I don't know, abide by the rule of 6, I guess, if we're to be good citizens. To be honest with you, I'm becoming disillusioned with this government. I'm beginning to think they are a little bit full of shit. But still, keep yourselves safe. Don't put yourselves and your family members in unnecessary danger, because this corona thing is still around and it does cause problems for people. So don't take unnecessary risks. There is no reason to just, make yourself ill or make your family members ill for no reason other than just being belligerent and not taking care. So take care, but take the information the government gives you with a slight pinch of salt. I don't think they're gospel at this point. Do your research and love each other as always. To Mr. Ralph out there, I will continue to be the degenerate that I am, and I will continue to call you for the grifter that you are. The grifter that you are, sir, and you are indeed a grifter. And that's how it is with all these people who come out with their message of, we will fix your world for you, we will fix your life, just give me money, because I need money. Speaking of money, go to the Banksy style spreadshirts and buy my shit. At least I say it in jest. I don't actually take thousands of pounds from people who can't afford it, and I promise them bullshit. I promise you nothing. I promise you a great quality cap or t-shirt from the Spreadshirt store, because it is good quality, and I have bought them myself and I've washed them, and I know that they withstand the washing machine test. They are good quality stuff, admittedly, but they are a bit expensive. They are not cheap, actually. They're quite pricey. So I may find other shirt stores or other products which are a little bit cheaper for everyone else. I think that might be a bit better for all of us. I'm looking for glasses, people. I'm actually looking for companies that can produce sunglasses, because I want to produce a set of sunglasses. That's what I'm still searching for. Either way, love yourselves, look after yourselves, love everyone around you, and love is stronger than hate, and love is stronger than grifters selling you promises of paradise hereafter. So watch out for those grifters with their begging balls. They've been around for thousands of years. Fuck the grifters. Don't give them a penny. Don't give no man a penny of your hard-earned money who's promising you God hereafter or paradise in the hereafter. Find your paradise right here. One time I said to a bunch of Muslims, I said to them, what if you die and you say to God, I've been a good Muslim all these years, where is my paradise? Where is my Jannah? And he tells you, I gave you paradise. I set you down on paradise. I gave you a planet full of wonders and rivers and oceans and waterfalls and forests and amazing animals. What did you do with it? How come now you're back here asking me for more? I gave you paradise and you squandered it. So why do you want me to give you more? You don't deserve it. So remember that. Sometimes you'll find paradise is right here. You just got to find it. Peace. And tickle your ass with a feather. Ciao.
Getaway Factory.
Story about a little guy that lives in the blue world, and all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him, inside and outside. Blue his house with the blue little window and a blue Corvette, and everything is blue for him and himself and everybody around. He ain't got nobody to listen. I'm Eight out of